son. Where'd you find this?
Just do it! Make your dreams come true!
A few moments later.
You are now listening to Podcast 42, the world's most popular, inaccurate, and sometimes squirreled retelling of pop culture history.
Froz is lighting candles.
Lighting?
How can we read if you turn off the light?
But it's nice effort.
Last time we recorded at your house, we had the same issue.
See, my man can
do you
make
want
an
the
atmosphere.
bats?
No.
No,
The
we
what?
don't need the bats.
The bats.
Oh, the lights.
That was
Yeah.
just for the Batman episode.
But we didn't do it for the Batman episode. We did it for... what episode was that?
Robin Williams? No.
No.
Muppets?
Muppets. Maybe the Muppets.
Was it Muppets?
No, I don't know.
I don't remember. Huh. I'm sure we talked about it. We'll just have to go back and listen to the show.
It was a live show.
Oh, then.
Yeah, did we only do a live show that week?
Yeah, I think we only did a live show that week.
Okay, maybe that's
That
what
was
it
it.
was.
So on that note, it's time for Podcast 42. I'm Christopher DeVos.
I'm
We all
Nicole
plugged in.
Fasone.
Did I do my job?
I'm Y2JL.
Yeah, we've started like 10 minutes ago
Oh.
for you to be checking all
Yeah.
the
And
the
you
sound
are?
equipment now. Who are you?
Oh, and I'm Faraz. Hey.
Hey.
Welcome to the show, Faraz.
Hello, guys.
This week's episode is on who?
Chris Jericho.
And who picked it?
Oh, Faraz.
No.
Faraz loves him. He's from Canada.
Is it? Yeah, well, sort of.
Sort of.
We'll find out. But first, let's open up the beer cooler.
JL beer cooler, it's cooler than you think. JL beer cooler, it's cool enough to drink. It's cool enough to drink, yeah.
All right, JL hates me this week.
I do not. I got something that you sort of like. I got from Cigar City Brewing, Tocobaga Red IPA.
At least the brewery has a chance.
Yeah, that's true.
It's dry hot with citra hops. Thanks for opening it while we're alive, Faraz, because the rest of us were prepared.
I just finished checking the sound equipment.
He was busy lighting candles.
I know, going for the mood lighting.
Yeah.
Because this is the second time we recorded at Faraz's house, and this is the second time he wants to turn off all the lights, even though we are a somewhat scripted podcast.
I can
And we have
always
to
read in the
read.
dark.
Yeah, I mean, the candle gives the light. You can read by candlelight, Chris. People used to do it.
Yes, but we all can't read by your one candle.
I can light up more candles. Would you like some more candles?
Yeah, I would like you to light like 26 candles so that we could all read it by.
I have that minus the 20.
Is that why you have tiki torches in your house?
I have tiki torches?
No, he doesn't have tiki torches, JL.
Wouldn't that be really dangerous?
So are the 26 candles he's lighting right now.
We were listening to something today about lobbyists for for flame retardant chemicals that are possibly cancerous, and therefore they're banned in California. So this guy was trying to say, like, no, these are safe. Listen to this. Like, a mom put her baby into the crib, and she put a candle in the crib with the baby, and the mattress was with the anti-flame material, and the pillow was not, and the baby, like, withstood 50% burns on its body.
What?
Like, the entire upper half was not, like, completely burned, but the bottom half was fine. It was like, wait a second, but what kind of mom would put an open candle in a crib with the baby?
That's an awful story.
The guy was full of you-know-what. Like,
He was lying
just
to
to make
lobby
them-
for the flame retardant systems.
which
What-
are hazardous in themselves.
What I would really like at this point, besides to forget the burning of the baby,
It was a fake baby. He was lying while he was
Okay.
testifying.
Well, Nicole
Okay.
did not say that. She just said a baby was
She
burned.
didn't say a
said
fake
over the course of
baby,
his
so
body.
that's much
he
better.
did it over a course of several testimonies, and each one the burn became more serious. It was like 50%, 85%, like 90%.
But I would like you to light 26 candles and then sing Every Breath You Take. Because that was the video
The video,
for Every Breath You Take by the Police.
26 candles?
Yeah, they had 26 candles, and he sang. Never mind. Go watch the video. And then he knocked him down with his microphone stand, I believe. I can't remember.
Or you
The
could
candles.
I think so.
Were they scented candles?
No.
I don't know. I
only
didn't have smell-o-vision.
I only have scented candles.
MTV didn't have smell-o-vision.
I'm just saying, if we light all my candles, it'd be a conflict of scents and aromas.
You know, I remember
Kind of
when-
like that time you had the gas leak in your house.
No, that was a pleasant, undetected scent.
I told you to
None
light
of
a
us-
candle then.
Yeah, we could have lit a candle then.
Faraz, you are a conflict of scents and aromas.
You know, two things really quick before we get
Why do
started.
you hold up 3 fingers then?
I didn't. I held up 2 fingers. The first one is that day that you guys were all here to record the episode. The next morning, we go outside and the gas company is downstairs. I'm like, wouldn't it have been perfect if they were here last night? It just would have made everything come full
Oh,
circle.
yeah, it would have been great.
And then second, you're talking about smell-o-vision. I remember when I was a kid and the Rugrats movie came out and was in theaters, you could go to like McDonald's or Burger, whatever had the promotion at the time.
Speaking of promotions, McDonald's is a 2 for $5 deal right now.
Hold on.
They gave you a card that had scratch and sniff. So you would go to the movie and it would have like a 1 in the corner, and you would scratch the 1 and you would smell what was on the screen. And it was so
Oh, I don't
interactive
remember
for
that.
The kids.
But I would like to know why Faraz has a deal with McDonald's on
Yeah,
the side. Is he
seriously.
just going to shout McDonald's promotions through the
Is he talking
whole
to, what's his name from
podcast?
McDonald's who used to
Yeah.
get us all our ads before, you know,
I can't
Oh,
remember.
yeah,
What
yeah.
was his name?
I don't
He's
remember.
a bad sponsor.
Frank or whatever.
Yeah. something like that. See you at the McDonald's bathroom.
Yeah.
I don't remember who
He
that
got
was.
us truck nuts, though, and grill ass.
That's my favorite sponsor.
That was my favorite, too. I couldn't make it through the ad.
What is grill ass?
Well,
Oh.
you may join our Patreon and you can listen to that.
Or you can go to the McDonald's bathroom, ask for Frank, and he'll get you some.
We're going old school all of a sudden. But right now, let's go back to new school because it's time for the pop quiz. Get out your pens and papers. This pop quiz is called Welcome to the Pop Quizzes, Jericho, or This Quiz Just Made the List.
I like the last one.
See, I watched a couple of videos, so I get that reference this time.
Oh, there you go.
I'm upset. I meant to bring my clicky pen for that, too. And
Did he have a clicky pen?
Yes,
Yeah.
we have clicky pens.
ooh, can I have a clicky pen?
Yes.
Oh, boy. There's going to be a lot of editing on this one.
I don't know if that clicky pen writes.
It doesn't matter, because if it doesn't,
It's just for the
pen
sound
will make
effect.
the list.
This is 5 general knowledge facts on Chris Jericho in order of the easiest to the hardest. To test your knowledge, score 1 point for each correct answer. Question number 1. What move has Chris Jericho regularly used as his finishing maneuver? He's got a couple, but this is the big one.
Uh-oh.
You didn't study Chris Jericho moves?
I just watched YouTube videos.
Okay.
A lot of them are him talking smack to people.
Oh yeah,
He
I can see
talk.
that.
Yeah, there's a lot of talking. Not much fighting, just a lot of talking in those YouTube videos.
Yeah, but one of my favorite wrestlers back when I used to watch regularly was Roddy Piper, and I don't think I ever saw him wrestle.
He was too busy hosting Piper's Pit.
Yeah, and talking smack.
But when he did hit Jimmy Snuka over the head with a coconut.
Did he? Well, that figures. Question number 2. What is the name of Chris Jericho's band? Hint. I'll give you a hint.
It's a Muppet.
It's a Muppet.
It's a Muppet?
Yeah.
Because it's a band, and it's a Muppet.
The name is a Muppet?
Yes.
Like an established Muppet?
No, an unestablished Muppet.
Yeah, they've only been in every Muppet movie ever.
Did we?
Talk about this Muppet?
Yes.
Yes.
It's one Muppet. It's
Yes,
not.
just one Muppet.
One
it's
Muppet.
not the Muppet Band.
It's not the Electric
'Cause-
Mayhem.
Okay.
No, because that is without a doubt the greatest name for a band ever.
Yeah, no, I know because that's why I had to clarify.
Question number 3. With which member of the McMahon family did Jericho have a memorable feud with? Which member of the McMahon family did Jericho have a memorable feud with?
Memorable?
Memorable.
Memorable.
Yes.
Memorable.
Rememberable?
Memorable. I'm saying it the American way. Question number 4. What body part of the McMahon family member that Chris was feuding with that he constantly claimed was enhanced surgically? Body part. Enhancement. And question number 5. Who defeated Chris Jericho at SummerSlam 2005? Oh, first stump for jail.
2005.
2005.
It was more than 10 years ago.
Yes. Hence...
I like my answers.
That was the year that Batman
They're all
Begins
comedic
came
relief
out.
answers.
And a year
So I
after
hope
Spider-Man
you-
2 came out.
It was not Tobey Maguire. It was not Heath Ledger.
Was it James Franco?
Did you write down an answer?
I'm thinking.
Okay.
Oh, God.
It's only an hour show.
Wait, can you repeat the question?
Who did Chris Jericho?
No, who defeated
defeated
Chris
him?
Jericho at SummerSlam 2005? Hint, it's not a Muppet.
Okay.
Okay, question number 1. What move has Chris Jericho regularly used as his finishing maneuver for Oz?
Clothesline?
Nicole.
Putting people on the list.
Yes.
I told you all my answers are comedic relief.
You should
Jail.
have said armbar, but no. Walls of Jericho.
Walls of Jericho is correct.
What's that?
What's armbar?
That's where he folded them over on top of themselves.
It's where you're holding their legs and you pull them back and everything like that, and you put all this pressure on their back.
Oh. What is armbar?
It's like an inverted Boston crab,
Oh.
but instead of sitting on the person, you pull them back further to stress the lower back.
Boston crab is really good with butter. Question number 2. What is the name of Jericho's band? Nicole.
Animal?
For Oz.
I, too, have animal.
Oh, you guys are absolutely wrong. JL.
Fozzie.
Fozzie is correct.
Aww.
Waka waka.
Question number 3. With which member of the McMahon family did Jericho have a memorable feud with? Nicole.
Maybelle McMahon.
Maybelle McMahon.
I just went for the alliteration, and
Yes.
I thought it'd be funny if it was a girl.
Old Maybelle. One of the lesser-known McMahons, hardly ever made any TV appearances. As a matter of fact, made 0. So, for Oz, it's not
the
Mabel.
only McMahon I know is Steve.
Steve McMahon.
So I put Steve.
Steve McMahon? Who's Steve
You don't know
McMahon?
Vince?
That's the one who I meant to say, but I, for some reason, thought his name was Steve.
JL.
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Oh, see, it was a girl.
Yes.
Maybe I meant Stephanie and I went with Steve.
Okay, that was close. And what body part did Chris say that Stephanie had enhanced surgically? Nicole?
This makes a lot more sense.
Boobs,
now.
yes.
Boobs is actually what I put, and
This
I
makes
thought it would be funny.
A lot more sense.
And for
now,
us?
given
What did you
the
put?
information for the last question, I put buttocks.
Buttocks, yes. That old butt surgery is very popular.
The breast
The breasts, yes.
Yes.
So it worked out for me to make fun, make a joke.
Yeah,
about
right
it
now
being
Nicole's
a
got more
girl.
points than for us.
I have a point for that.
I just didn't think
I'm
Steve
also giving you half a
McMahon-
point for your first one.
Maybelle McMahon.
Oh, no. Your
Oh,
first
they're putting
answer.
them on the list as his
I love
final
that
move?
as a good finisher.
And question number 5. Who defeated Chris Jericho at SummerSlam 2005? JL.
John Cena.
Nicole.
Everyone on his list.
For Oz.
I have The Rock.
John Cena.
Good job.
He was then fired the next night on Raw. And
Because he defeated him and he wasn't supposed to?
because he was supposed to win, Eric Bischoff fired him.
Who was supposed to win? Jericho?
should have won, but then they did a whole thing where they fired him the next night.
They fired Jericho.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought they fired John Cena.
No. They never fired John Cena.
Bum, bum, bum.
All right, let's get
think that's how
into
his
the
music
life
goes.
and times of Chris Jericho, the WWE
You also
wrestler.
smell the candle now?
Yes, the Caribbean Queen. Yes.
Yes, it's very...
Nothing better than smelling Billy Ocean while we record a podcast.
Every breath you take,
Makes me want to get out of my dreams and into your car.
every move you make, every Jericho you fake. You're
right
kicking
there.
it off,
You're
Joe.
right there, Nicole.
Go.
Good, because Lionheart, Y2J, the man of 1,004 holds, the Ayatollah of rock and rolla, Mongoose McQueen, the first ever undisputed champion. Christopher Keith Irvine, known throughout the world as Chris Jericho, was born on November 9th, 1970 in Manhasset, New York.
That's not Canada. Sorry, go on.
We're not there yet.
It's a surprise twist.
His father was Ted Irvine, who played in the NHL for several different teams over the course of his career. Chris's family moved to a little-known city in Canada that nobody talks about after his father's playing career came to an end.
Oh.
You have to read the sentence first.
Because now they were living in Winnipeg with nothing to do.
Oh.
Nobody
Are you from Winnipeg?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of things in Winnipeg. You can have snowball fights. You can build snowmen. Then you can tear them apart and use their parts for snowball fights.
So much.
It's a never-ending cycle.
Of snowballs.
And snowmen.
Plus, you can make a fort.
Out of
Decorate
snowballs?
your fort with a snowman, and then have a snowball fight with the opposite fort across the street.
So you could pull a Dwight, like Dwight did for Jim, where he just has a field of snowmen, and he's secretly hiding in one of them, and they're just walking very cautiously, like, well, where's the next attack going to come from?
No, I never did that.
Oh.
You know, you've been hanging out with Faraz too long because he'll bring up Batman and Star Wars and everything, but I don't know if you realize it, but you bring up The Office in everything.
The Office covers everything.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it
Did you
does.
guys?
What we did in Winnipeg?
Did you guys ever put a magic hat on any of your snowmen?
No, because we would take them apart to use for snowballs.
Okay,
What would
just
you do
checking.
with the wet hat afterwards, Chris?
It would come
It would
to
be
life.
litter. We
Yeah,
don't litter in
and then he
Canada.
would dance around the
There
town.
was no litter in Canada, sir.
Litter. Chris soon discovered his love of professional wrestling after going to some events at the Winnipeg Arena. The wrestlers who influenced...
They had an arena?
Yes, where the Jets play, sir. 2 Jets.
Benny?
When you're
And
a
the
jet,
Jets.
you're a jet all the
They're-
way.
they're two teams.
Is what I've heard.
2 teams.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
2 Jets.
The wrestlers who influenced him the most were Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Shawn Michaels, and the late great Owen Hart. Heading out to begin his career as a wrestler, Chris Irvine tried his luck in Keystone Wrestling Alliance. Here he learned a few things before going to the infamous Hart family dungeon to become what would become his tagline as the best in the world at what he does. At the dungeon is where he met future friend and tag team partner Lance Storm. The dungeon is also where he came up with his ring name, Chris Jericho. This being from the song Walls of Jericho by the awesome band Halloween.
Asterix.
Yes, maybe. But they are an awesome band. The song I Want Out is one of the best songs I've ever heard for a power metal group. I don't care.
I'm going to take another sip of beer before I continue.
Oh, yeah,
If
take
I-
your time. This
That's fine.
dead air is always good
Yes,
for a podcast.
it's great.
Yes.
It's great. Always sounds good.
Yes.
Can I
And
savor
professional.
that sip while you...
No,
Yeah,
go
pen
for, yeah.
as you speak.
We'll
Great.
just fill time.
I got it.
And-
I'm ready. It's not like you can't edit this. Can you?
Have you? You've never listened to any of our shows, have you?
I know there's a disclaimer. I know that sometimes we have sound issues. Isn't that enough? And I helped fix the sound issue last time.
You did, but there's not a whole lot of
5
editing
minutes
involved.
later, he has yet to begin the next paragraph.
After spending some time in the dungeon and learning from the best, Jericho formed a tag team with Lance Storm called Sudden Impact. The duo toured all over Canada while facing up and coming talent like Adam Copeland.
Yes.
From the
Copeland.
Police.
That's Stuart Copeland.
Oh, okay. Every breath
who would
you
later be
take.
known as Edge, and also the equally talented but underappreciated Jay Rezzo, who later became Christian. He converted.
Yes.
What does that have to do with anything?
That's his name. That's his wrestling name.
Those are their wrestling names.
He said converted. I thought we were literally talking religion.
Yes.
Yes.
The duo continued to tag together from 1990 to 1991 until they went to Japan.
You didn't mention the wrestler Buddhist.
What?
Oh,
Where?
sorry. That
Did
was
I skip
Buddhist,
that?
the barber beefcake.
Yes. Then,
Buddhist the Barber Beefcake?
yeah.
Yes.
Moving
The
on.
Buddhist barber.
It was a
I
stupid
don't
joke.
see this in my
Yeah, it was a
paragraph.
bad joke.
Bad joke. Really bad.
Yeah.
Then, in 1992, Jericho went to Mexico and did what any good wrestler does in Mexico.
Eats a taco.
I was going to say do drugs.
Sneak into America?
Well, they were already in Canada. They didn't have to go to Mexico to do that.
Yeah. They snuck out of Canada, traveled to America, snuck into Mexico, then snuck back into America. It's like those cartoon dots.
Right,
Like
yes,
when they
like the
walk
Looney
across
Tunes,
the
right.
when they walk across
Just like
the
when
map
Indiana
and they leave the
Jones
little
is going
dots
from like country to country.
Yeah.
and
There
all
you
that.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what
What they
happened.
actually did in Mexico was wrestling while wearing a mask. This didn't last long, and soon he ditched the mask for good, but not his gig in Mexico, now known as Leon de Oro.
Leon de Oro.
Leon de Oro. Doro. Which translates to Golden Lion. His career soon took off, garnering much fanfare. The diehard wrestling fans of Mexico nicknamed him Corazon de Leon. Did I do that right?
Sure.
Or Lionheart, which stuck with him for many years to come. Jericho took on the cream of the crop. God damn it.
Luchadors.
Luchadors, culminating in him defeating Ultimo Dragon. I feel like I'm not giving enough flair to that name. Ultimo Dragon for the NWA Middleweight Championship. This he held for almost an entire year.
Have you not seen Nacho Libre?
No.
You're missing out.
Nah.
Okay.
Really?
Because if you did, you would have known that word was luchador. His biggest break came when Chris Jericho was offered a spot in Paul Heyman's small yet iconic promotion, ECW. ECW, or Extreme Championship Wrestling, was a tiny powerhouse that gave the world wrestlers that normally would not get a chance in other promotions. Wrestlers like Rob Van Dam, Sabu, Taz, Too Cold Scorpion, and Jericho's best friend Lance Storm.
Too Cold Scorpion.
Yeah. He was.
What made this person think up of that name?
Why not?
It also says Too Cold Scorpio.
Oh, it's a Scorpio. Oh, I did read it wrong.
That makes so much more sense
I was just
now.
gonna let you keep going.
Yeah, because that answered your question of how did he come up with that name. Which is that simple that area.
The removal of the N solved everything there.
It makes it a lot easier.
Okay. Mick Foley is credited as getting Jericho in ECW, having witnessed some of his matches in Japan, saying, "Chris is one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen, like ever, and I don't know why he isn't working someplace bigger, because mark my words, he's going to be good."
Oh, that sounds like what people say about you, Chris.
Yes. And then he ripped off his ear.
Why is that?
In
Is
Japan.
that what you do?
What?
No, Mick Foley ripped
Mick
off
Foley,
his
he
ear.
lost
after
his
he
ear in
said that.
Japan in a match.
Oh, crap.
Following his success in ECW, bigger things were coming on the horizon. Eyes were watching all over the world, but one close to home in Atlanta, Georgia, was watching closest of all. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you about. Originally, JL, you wrote the small town of Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, did I? I don't know.
I was just wondering if you knew if maybe Atlanta was smaller back then, because it's huge now.
Oh, well, it grew.
Okay.
So did Winnipeg, guys.
Did it?
There's a lot more to do now in Winnipeg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're in like triple digits for who lives there.
Like,
They've got snowball cannons now. Like, you don't even have to do it.
There's
manually.
activities you can freeze your snowballs and use them in summer.
really? It's like a bad sequel to Frozen. WCW, or World Championship Wrestling, came calling in 1995, looking at Chris to be one of their centerpieces in the new high-flying cruiserweight division. It was here that Jericho character started reaching its full potential. I knew this name was going to come up. I'm going to need help with it, JL, when we get to it. He once again faced off with familiar foes like Ultimo Dragon, but also new opponents such as Rey Mysterio Jr., JL.
Juventud Guerrera.
Who?
Juventud Guerrera.
Was that his real wrestling name?
Yeah.
That's what he went by?
Yeah. He was the Juice.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say the juice of his name comes up in my section again.
Yeah, we call him Quasi Juice.
And the man of 1,000 holds, Dean Malenko. Dean Malenko. That's how you say that name when you get to it, Nicole.
All right, I've got it. Dean Malenko was a man with no charisma at all who specialized in submission holds.
It made him easier to pick on.
During their feud, Jericho developed a knack for giving his opponents nicknames and mocking everything about them. Jericho expanded his catalog of holds to 1,004, making him slightly better than the Malenko in the ring.
You know who else does that?
Who?
JL.
What?
Gives people nicknames and then mocks them.
Fair.
All the time.
Well, his new set included such devastating holds as armbar, arm drag, the moss-covered three-handled family
Gridunza.
armbar. We just said armbar. Why is it in there twice?
Keep going.
armbar, lion salt, armbar, drop toe hold, body slam, and armbar, to name a few. So I'm guessing that was like his only real big move.
No.
Yes? No, he just did it.
What is armbar? I asked in the beginning.
Armbar. It's a
What?
hold. It's a submission hold.
Okay.
When he did the whole thing, he came out with like a whole long sheet of like printer paper.
Okay.
And just started naming things off, but he kept saying armbar like every 3 moves, just so that way he could say he had more holds than Malenko. So he would go through and say it like that, and then it'd be
That's awesome.
armbar.
Got it.
Walls
That's
of
funny.
Jericho.
I get it.
Got it.
Moonsault. Armbar.
That's funny.
You know, in college, I had this sexual move called the moss-covered three-handled family credenza.
I thought that was just a movie you made.
Well, yeah, that was the
Based
the
on-
movie after I invented that sex move.
He ended this feud just to start one with Quasi Juice,
Juventud Guerrera.
which ended with Guerrero losing his mask in the match.
Dun,
All-
dun, dun.
All while this is going on, Jericho reigned as Cruiserweight champion, putting the rest of the roster on notice. Chris was quickly gaining a new fan base with his quick wit and skills in the ring.
For the majority of 1997, Jericho dominated the rest of the cruiserweights until Rey Mysterio dethroned him. Accomplishing everything he could there, Jericho set his sights on a new prize and better competition. In 1998, Jericho set out to become WCW Television Champion and completed this task by defeating Stevie Ray.
Vaughn?
No, just Stevie Ray, whose
Okay.
brother was Booker T, who was hurt, and Stevie Ray defended the title, and Jericho beat him to become champion.
Because if it was Stevie Ray Vaughan, I don't give Chris Jericho much credit. I think he could.
Yeah.
Anybody could beat up Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Especially then.
Yes.
Yeah. As champion, Jericho brought excitement to Monday Nitro, thus renaming it Monday Night Jericho. He would stay champion until Perry Saturn defeated him, and he would leave WCW soon after. In 1999, vignettes began airing with a countdown to the millennium, but with it culminating far before the supposed computer crash of the year 2000, also called Y2K, which would never happen, actually. This
Typos.
clock would hit 0 on August 9th, 1999 instead.
Oh, no.
Yep. While in Chicago, Illinois, with The Rock giving another one of his memorable promos, Y2J was born, the WWE would never, ever be the same again.
Is that a Jericho thing?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Jericho would enter his first feud in the WWE against the eighth wonder of the world, China, which led to his first of many reigns as Intercontinental Champion.
I think this is one of the videos we watched today where he was like threatening China.
Yeah.
No. When I stopped watching wrestling around this time, but I stayed around for a little bit longer because of these things that they put on for Jericho before he came out. Mm-hmm. That was an interesting story for JL, but then he left the table.
No, I didn't. All right. I did. I had to go get a beer. But, no, yeah, the thing I loved about it is when they were airing the things from the Millennium, it's before the internet really took off, and you started hearing, like, oh, so-and-so signing with this company, and you would know it before they even debuted.
It was back when LL Cool J was investing.
Yes, when he was investing. And you sat there and you watched this countdown to the Millennium going, all right, what's it going to be? What's it going to be? And then when it happened and Jericho showed up, it was a big payoff because he had a big fan base that just followed him from WCW to WWE.
And a terrible haircut.
I'm surprised.
I loved the Gene Simmons top knot that he did. Also, that silver shirt was phenomenal.
He had a mullet.
He went through a lot of like physical changes. Like there was like a compilation video we watched where he was just like, you see him like broad and bulky, and then all of a sudden slender and just narrow with short hair. Then all of a sudden, like the next video, broad and bulky all over again.
It's tough to work out on the road a lot, probably.
Yeah. It was very dynamic, that's for sure.
So this clock hitting 0 on August 9th, 1999, like what was that, a wrestling clock, or was that when they thought the computers were going to...
No, that was the wrestling clock.
Oh, okay.
Because all you saw was a countdown to the millennium, and everybody was going on about Y2K and what was going to happen with Y2K. Mm-hmm. And then this clock is just going on. You're like, that's not going to the end of the year.
Well, it should have gone until September 9th, 1999, because then it would have been 9/9/99, and that would have been cooler.
But
you weren't the promo person.
No,
at the time.
and sometimes you have
Just
to
like-
look at what city you're in and where you'll get your biggest pop for a debut. And Chicago's huge for wrestling.
Yeah. It was just
Intercontinental Champion was just the first title Chris Jericho would win, as he followed it with the European Championship in 2000. The year 2000 also brought a setback.
Wait. I think you read that wrong. I think it says the swarmy year 2000 also brought back a setback.
Why swarmy?
Read on. Your answer will be in the rest of the script.
The swarmy year 2000 also brought a setback for Chris by being taken aback, by being taken out of the main event of WrestleMania. This was in favor of adding Mick Foley instead. Do I still keep reading to get it?
Yes.
Yeah, keep reading. It'll answer.
This was the push for him to take his character to new heights and becoming a major force in upcoming Invasion premise. Oh, still
you got to flip the page. Yeah.
The invasion of WWE was one of the greatest ideas in professional wrestling history, but extremely poorly executed. ECW and WCW being bought out by Stephanie McMahon.
Fake
Stephanie.
boobs.
Yeah, the fake boobs.
And Steve McMahon.
Who the hell is Shane McMahon? And Shane McMahon, respectively, both came to WWE to overthrow CEO Vince McMahon, their father. I was right. With too many wrestlers on the roster and no clear end in sight, the storyline became a jumbled mess, with people jumping from one ship to the other, causing fans to lose interest. This is where the idea of the undisputed champion came from.
And who wrote that storyline? None other than Mabel McMahon.
Yeah, that's why we don't talk about Maybell.
Yeah, Mabel McMahon.
Maybell.
Oh, Mabel.
Not Mabel, Maybell.
Mabel.
No, Mabel was a wrestler.
Jericho, in the midst of a feud with The Rock and showing signs of turning heel, ended up... What's heel, JL? What is a heel?
That's the villain in the wrestling world.
Okay.
So if you're a face, you're the fan favorite, where a heel is the one that's going to get the crowd to hate them and say all the fun things to piss them off.
Ended up defeating him to win the WCW championship for the first time. He would lose this title soon after, but all was not lost. Going full heel to toe, Chris Jericho defeated The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin in the same night to become the first ever undisputed champion in WWE history on December 9th, 2001, which was a peaceful year, at the Vengeance pay-per-view.
I know you didn't just say 2001 was a peaceful year.
Peaceful, that's what it says here.
2000, it needs to be a different adjective for 2001.
It was a rough year.
It was a rough year.
Why?
2001.
Okay.
September of 2001 was...
But that's way towards the end of the year.
And that kind of shot the whole year.
Okay. If you say so.
I say so.
This was the catalyst that ended the Invasion storyline. Jericho would hold on to the title until he was defeated by Triple H at WrestleMania 18. During the brand split, Jericho would jump between shows, winning multiple titles. It was also during this time that he revisited his love of heavy metal and started the band Fozzy.
There it is.
Going by the name Mongoose McQueen, he began fronting the band while channeling his inner David Lee Roth. This was the start to become the rock god he always wanted to be. Fozzy started as a cover band, but has since evolved into a force one never dreamed of. Between wrestling and music, he was busier than ever, yet the creativity never stopped.
Jericho debuted his own segment on Monday Night Raw called The Highlight Reel. Goldberg was his first guest. This helped start a feud between the two and also reunited Jericho with Lance Storm. After that, he did a storyline straight out of Eddie Murphy's Coming to America, where he bet fellow superstar Christian a Canadian dollar that he could sleep with Trish Stratus first.
A loony?
Yes, he bet him a loony. It's just, you've seen Coming to America.
Yes.
Where they all do everything and they make the bet and they're in the bathroom and it's like $1. And it was like, here, I bet you one loony.
The only thing I remember was the royal penis is cleaned.
Okay.
It's a great movie, though.
It was a good movie.
In 2004, Jericho is credited with creating the Money in the Bank match, which would pit superstars in a ladder match to claim a briefcase that contained a world title opportunity. Any place, anytime. Shortly after this, Jericho left WWE to take a break, but continued other pursuits. While on break from WWE, he wrote the first part of his autobiography titled A Lion's Tale, Around the World in Spandex. He also starred in the sci-fi movie Android Apocalypse with the greatest television actor of the 1990s, Joey Lawrence.
Double asterisks.
Wait. Joey Lawrence. That sounds very familiar.
Hey,
This is
whoa.
Doubtfire?
Whoa.
No.
No, that's Andrew Lawrence.
Okay, It's
That's
his brother,
lesser
right?
talented
Yeah,
brother.
Okay.
Fozzy continued to make new music, but the main reason for the break was family.
How could you say Joey Lawrence wasn't like the greatest actor of the 90s? He was
Because
in
all
everything.
he said was, whoa.
Yeah, and he made a career off of it.
I guess.
I mean, Adam Sandler can make a career out of making kids' noises.
And you know who could use an Adam Sandler movie right now? Joey Lawrence. Should put him in one.
Yeah, the script would be...
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah, we just made a movie. Jericho married...
Netflix would buy it.
Yes, they would, because Jericho married Jessica Lockhart in 2000 at the height of his career and never had much time off after that. They had a son in 2003 and identical twin girls in 2006 during his wrestling hiatus. This time off was important to Jericho because family is everything to him, but the love of the ring is just as strong. Never intending to stay away forever, mysterious vignettes of a code began. Page turn. Airing during Monday Night Raw in 2007. Eventually, the code was broken when Y2J returned to save us. Returning in late 2007 to save us from Randy Orton, Jericho came back to much fanfare with a new finisher and an amazing LED light-up jacket to make his entrance even more spectacular. During this time, he won his record 8th Intercontinental Championship, giving him the record of most won. He also had a feud with one of his wrestling inspirations when he took on Shawn Michaels. A ladder match between the two proved deadly when Jericho lost part of a tooth when his face hit the ladder.
Ouch.
Oh yeah, it took out like half his tooth.
Ugh.
Jericho played the heel in this rivalry, putting Jericho's through the Jeriton 6000 during an episode of the highlight reel, and accidentally punching Michaels' wife during a segment also of the same show.
Accidentally?
Yes, he meant to punch Michaels, but Michaels pushed her out of the way, and he ended up hitting her instead.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because that's how you get somebody to hate you.
That wasn't scripted?
No, it was.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Good God.
You had me worried there.
Yeah, I was like, damn it.
You really sold it. Good job.
Yeah. The ladder match was the final battle between the two and served as a proper way to end it. Still the heel, he won the World Heavyweight Championship twice that year until his most sinister opponent yet came forward. Mickey Rourke.
The
Fresh
bad
off-
guy from Iron Man
2.
Yes, Iron Man 2.
Yes.
And the lover from 9.5 Weeks.
What?
Oh, you didn't know? Mickey Rourke, fresh off his award-nominated turn in The Wrestler, came calling, but due to movie studio interference, he could never get his hands on him. WrestleMania came, and Jericho took on everybody that Rourke threw at him, all in one match, including Rowdy Roddy Piper
Yeah.
and his own hero, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Jericho was victorious, but Rourke got the last laugh and knocked him out after the match. He then won the Intercontinental title one last time, and also team titles with Big Show as the tag team Jericho before leaving once again.
And when Jericho woke up from being knocked out, he was in front of an open refrigerator with chocolate pudding smeared all over his chest.
I think he was able to explain the ending of The Wrestler also after that, too.
Break
You
number...
guys never saw 9.5 Weeks?
No.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
I've seen
ever seen
9
The Wrestler?
months.
You seen 9 months?
Yeah, isn't that with...
That's Hugh Grant.
Yeah, Hugh Grant.
Wow.
Oh,
that is
boy.
a big difference right there.
Yes, extremely big difference.
Break number 2 consisted of more music from Fozzy and writing part 2 of his autobiography. This book was titled Undisputed Hero. Oh, Jesus. The book was titled Undisputed How to Become Champion in 1,372 steps. Was released on February 16th of 2011. A much happier year than the year that Chris was happy about, I guess. Ooh, that was a bleak subject. It was
It actually says February 16th, the bleak year of 2011. I don't know why
it
you're
was
not
bleak
reading
in
these.
Winnipeg. I'll tell you that.
Why you're not
Yeah, 'cause
reading
there
these
were no snowballs.
these
Yeah.
dates correctly, but keep going.
It was a success. So he wrote part 3, which was titled The Best in the World. At what? I have no idea. This was in 2014, which was a summary year.
Oh, the whole year was summary?
Summary.
Okay.
Quaint.
Why are
Was
you
a
giving a
quaint
summary
year.
of 2014?
That's what I want to know.
What?
Keep going.
I was already living here in 2014.
Showing he had some rhythm, he completed on Dancing with the Stars in 2011, which was again a decent year.
Summary.
No, that was 2014, goddammit.
2011, I think you said was bleak.
Winnery.
No, that 2011 wasn't bleak for me. Was it bleak for Chris?
No. I don't remember it.
The similarities between the dance floor and the wrestling ring led to him to return to the WWE once again. Jericho came back to prove he was the best in the world
At what he does.
And engaged in a rivalry with CM Punk. CM Punk, is that like Daft
That's
Punk?
really,
Or?
no, that's really his name. He's the Chicago-made Punk
Yes, he now gets beat up.
in MMA at
Yes.
the UFC. Yes.
Extremely beat up.
Both billing,
And yet I've watched both of them.
both billing themselves as the best. They had to prove it on the grandest stage of them all. So the only option was WrestleMania,
Which they had in Miami.
putting on a match for the ages.
Did you go?
Yes.
Okay.
It truly was the highlight of the night until The Rock, who was returning from his first match in years, defeated John Cena.
Yeah, they actually had Jericho and CM Punk go on right before that match. It was probably really the best match of the night, but everybody was there for the Rock Cena match, so it was great, but everybody kind of forgot about it. It seemed like the crowd forgot about it by the end of the night because they were only talking about Rock and Cena.
And it's all staged.
No.
What?
Overshadowed yet again, he engaged in other memorable feuds with Fandango.
Fandango?
Like
Trip the Lights Fandango.
not the
the
movie
movies?
ticket thing.
No.
Like that's quite a memorable feud.
I mean, you're taking on a whole movie theater chain, yeah.
Yeah.
Dolph Ziggler, Bray Wyatt. Oh my God,
That's an awesome name, though. Bray
Wyatt and former tag team partner Kevin Owens.
Jericho had made it known he would not be wrestling full-time anymore due to music commitments. While there, he put people on the list and helped them become the best superstars they could be. Music not being the only thing outside the ring keeping him busy, he launched the amazing podcast 42.
I've heard of them.
No, Talk is Jericho in 2013.
What kind of year was 2013, Chris?
2013 was a folly year.
It was
A springy, folly year. His
Can't be.
podcast...
Those are opposites of one another.
I know, that's what was so rough about it.
Oh.
His podcast is one of the best semi-scripted podcasts out, covering a wide range of topics while having guests like Paul Stanley of Kiss on it.
That's a great band.
Amazing how you picked out the Kiss member of all the people he's had on the podcast.
Well, you know.
We can get a Kiss member, can't we?
Yes, we can.
Yes, I'm sure Vinnie Vincent would be happy to come on our show.
We can get Steve McMahon.
Or you and Nicole Kiss, and that'll be about the closest way we're going to get to a Kiss member.
No, I think we're one of the best semi-scripted podcasts out.
Oh, we are the best.
That's fine. As long if they kiss, I will do my best rendition of "Let's Put the X in Sex," and then we'll have all versions of Kiss going on.
There you go. Wrestling still being his number one love, he continued to make spontaneous appearances for WWE while returning to New Japan Pro Wrestling, where he started. Following an amazing match with Kenny Omega, he began the NJPW.
New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Okay. Whew, that's a mouthful, kind of like the LBGQTRST gay community symbols now, the letters. They keep adding letters to their thing. Never mind. Intercontinental Champion defeating Tetsuya Naito. He still holds that title even today. In 2017, Fozzy released their most well-received album yet, titled Judas. They embarked on a tour shortly after. This year, however, he launched his most innovative idea yet, called Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea. It is a cruise featuring some of the best talent in wrestling today, while showcasing some awesome bands at the same time. With this, Chris Jericho has proven why he is a force to be reckoned with, in and out of the ring, making sure you experience the best in the world, yet are
never, ever the same again.
And that is Chris Jericho.
Interesting. That's very good.
One never knew. Let's do some fishbowl facts because there's some more interesting stuff.
It is?
This is where we pull some extra tidbits about Chris Jericho from a fishbowl.
JL, you go first. Oh, I also saw today that a wrestler actually passed away. Who was it?
Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
R.I.P.? Did we like him? Did you like him?
I did. He was actually part of the Hart Foundation in the late 80s and in the 90s with Bret Hart, which is where they won the tag titles. And all that. He was a good wrestler. Played a great heel. His daughter wrestles for WWE today.
Wow.
Everybody got one?
Yep.
Jericho hosted the show Robot Combat League. The show was exactly what it sounds like. People creating robots and making them fight each other. It was awesome. It was like a BattleBots thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, BattleBots.
I loved it.
Your turn.
It's a circle for us.
Same order.
Chris
Every
took
week.
part in a reality show that put celebrities who were not known to be singers on a team with a known singer. It was called Celebrity Duets. And, like most reality shows, each week one or more celebrity was eliminated. CJ was teamed up with the country music star Lee Ann Womack and Peter Frampton. Since CJ has a more rock style of singing, he didn't mesh well with his teammates as he wasn't used to singing a certain style. Unfortunately, he was the first one eliminated.
Aww.
Fishbowl facts.
I actually watched this show. CJ was once the host of a game show called Downfall. Contestants had to answer a certain amount of questions correctly in a set amount of time to win. This is part of the course for a lot of game shows, but this one was held on top of a 10-story building in Los Angeles.
Wow.
Contestants answered questions, and as the time went on, all their prizes would go by on a conveyor belt and then drop off the side of the building to their destruction. It was pretty awesome.
I actually really enjoyed that show a lot. I thought it was different than most game shows, and the look on the contestants' faces as you would see like something like a refrigerator, golf clubs, anything going over the edge there. It's like, oh!
I think they had personal items on there, too.
They did have personal items on there.
And that would go off the side of the building if they didn't answer.
Yikes. Chris Jericho is also a lover of tattoos. He has 5 tattoos, and 3 of them are in his left hand. In his left hand or on his left hand? On his left hand.
Inside of it.
It's National Left-Handers Day, by the way. High five, lefty, with your right hand.
Well,
How dare
it would have
you?
been awkward for me going like that.
No, it wouldn't. It would have
So
been.
try it again.
I don't know. Chris and I are both right-handed. We would high five. Oh, so he would do right and left. So
Well, I was
right and
holding my
left, or
microphone.
We do right and
Yeah,
right.
you would typically go right and left. That way you like connect properly.
Yeah, but for the specific day, you would make the exception, you know?
You did it wrong.
Anyway.
Like always.
Link from Legend of Zelda is left-handed.
The first tattoo is the name of his wife, Jessica, which is tattooed on his ring finger. And the second is the letter F as a representation of his band Fozzy on the back of his hand. The third tattoo is an album artwork of Fozzy's 5th album, Sin and Bones.
He's actually extended on that, so he has pretty much a whole sleeve now.
Really?
Do you
Yes.
listen to his albums?
Yes.
Were they all good, or?
I like them. Again, the newest one, Judas, is probably the best one yet. But going back to his tattoos, he has a lot in there like that. They're all music inspired. And he did a segment on WWE Network talking about him and how like it's like little subtle references to different bands and how they influenced him on how he chose them. So
That's
it
always
was really nice.
That's
fun
neat.
questions to ask people. Like,
Yeah.
if you see somebody with a lot of tattoos, I always like to say, which was your first tattoo? What did you get? And then I say, what is your favorite tattoo?
Swastika.
What the heck? You've been
I
so
forgot.
controversial tonight.
I forgot.
You
I completely
You are
forgot.
so trying to stir the pot with him
I know.
tonight. It's great.
Hey, me.
I know. I looked right at you and I said swastika. And then I'm like, she's Jewish. I was just...
Hi,
Then,
Nicole's
like,
mom.
you said 2001 was a
I-
good year to a
Peaceful
New
year.
Yorker,
I was
too.
just trying to go for the most controversial tattoo.
You are successful tonight.
I wasn't going for any other religious and people. I love Jewish people. Please do not hate me. I was just going for something
I
controversial.
think that I would be interested in people asking me what made me got my first tattoo if I were to get this tattoo. It would
tattoo
be.
do you have?
I don't have one right now, but if I were to get one, it would be
Princess
a bat
Zelda.
symbol on my chest
Oh my
going
god.
across. And like, yeah, someone would say, "Hey, what?"
He made it almost an entire episode.
Almost.
Talking about
Almost.
Batman.
I think it'd be a cool tattoo to like have. You know, we're at the beach and stuff.
Yeah,
so
so
he
be-
changes his logo all the time. So, Fozzy has released 7 albums, one of which is a live album. They've also toured with some of the best in heavy metal, like Motorhead, Megadeth, Metallica, Anthrax, and Slayer.
You sounded sad when you said
Bats.
Slayer.
I'm not a big Slayer fan.
Chris Jericho, along with former NFL quarterback Tim Tebow and former Atlanta Braves third baseman Chipper Jones, are co-owners of a sports training facility in Florida called D1 Sports Training and Therapy.
Wow. Where is it?
It's in Tampa.
Ooh.
It's actually a neat gym.
I was about to say, have you been there?
Yes.
I'm not surprised.
Chris Jericho has managed both Wade Barrett and Usos.
Usos. Those are Rikishi's kids.
Okay.
Wait, what?
I think we're missing a fishbowl fact.
I've got one.
Okay.
Our last one. Our last fishbowl fact of the night. Other Chris Jericho nicknames: the highlight of the night, Cowboy, the greatest Canadian of all time, and your role model. I thought Faraz was the greatest Canadian of all time.
No, there's a lot. Trudeau's being pretty good right now, I think.
It's just being nice.
See, I was thinking of what could be the worst tattoo any person could ever get, and that's where that joke lied. That's all.
You're still
You're
trying to
still
cover up
talking.
your
I
joke.
know. I feel so bad. This is the worst thing ever. I apologize.
He brings up tiki torches. You bring up swastikas.
What's wrong with tiki torches?
It's the anniversary of the.
You are
Charlottesville.
dwelling too much on
Charlottesville.
something like that.
On what?
It's the anniversary of the Charlottesville.
I brought up tiki torches because he
neo-Nazi
wanted to light up a ton
riot.
of candles.
Oh,
People
okay.
made sense to have tiki torches.
They ran over the people and all that stuff in their car.
Yeah, but did the tiki torches really have anything
It
to
was-
do
it was
with that
symbolic
other
what they
than
did. They
They
bought
were
all the
on
tiki
sale
torches.
at Home Depot. and
exactly?
That's why
That's why they
Yeah.
had them. I don't really
But
relate.
it created a
those.
stigma about them.
Nah.
Citronella has yet to recover, huh?
That's why the mosquitoes are running wild.
It's Florida. That's why the mosquitoes are running wild.
All right, who's your friend that missed the beer review last time?
Chris
Me?
O'Connor.
Oh,
Me?
Chris O'Connor. Now we're going to rate this beer.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
What is it again?
Cigar
Tocobaga.
City's Tocobaga Red IPA. Nice 7.2 ABV, 65 IBUs. I've really enjoyed this beer.
I do too.
Nice taste to it. Really good.
Do you mind if I take a sip of your highlight to compare it to the highlight? Because they're very similar.
I don't think so. I
Really?
find this Tocobaga to be a little more smoky in it, where the highlight I find more citrusy.
Yeah. But I still taste citrus in the Tocobaga, and that's what it says in the description of it.
Yeah, but the red portion of it is where you get the bitterness and the malt.
Yeah.
So
It's maltier for sure.
So between 1 and 6, what do you think?
I don't know. Faraz, how do we rate this?
So, let's say that you were having a winter in Winnipeg. Now, you
Which
need
is
how many
all year round,
Now,
right?
let's say that you have 6 opponents. The adequate number of snowballs you would need would be 1 per person.
Yes.
So you would need 6 snowballs.
How many snowmen?
You can get 6 snowballs out of 1 snowman, sir.
Okay.
You can get more if you're very diligent on
So
crafting
what you're telling me
snowballs.
is you can snowball a snowman 6 times.
You know, in the context of this conversation,
Uh-huh.
what JL said is accurate. Beyond that context, I don't know.
So there is something to do in Winnipeg. We all thought there was nothing to do, but there's actually a lot to do.
So
I
you
can
have
just
to
see the sign now when you go into Winnipeg. Welcome to Winnipeg, birthplace of snowballing.
Please don't snowball our snowmen.
So a preferable number here would be 6.
Inches.
Now let's say that you have less than 6. That's
Inches.
as long as you have more than 1
Inch.
you should be okay.
Should.
Should. Ideally, you'd want 6 snowballs.
Inches.
I don't think you've explained the rating system at all. I am so confused.
Like snowballs, we rate the beer out of 6.
Okay.
That's all you meant to say?
0 to 6.
0
6 means
to
you can
6. So
drink
if you
6,
can't get a single
0.
snowball out of that snowman, then you are fucked, sir.
And there's
No,
the E.
you're not.
There's the E. Welcome to the E. Although the swastika probably put us at an E as well. So what's your number?
I'm giving this a 5.
Oh.
I think the dry maltiness towards the end would keep me from drinking a whole 6-pack that I would have to save one for another time. But overall, it's a great beer, great drinkability, and yeah, 5.
You know, I like it a lot. I really enjoy the flavor. It is reminiscent of the highlight, and we already kind of went over it's a lot maltier than it. And I think because of that, it's giving me this aftertaste I'm not crazy about. So I like the taste and the drinkability of it, but the aftertaste is kind of going to have to knock it down one for me.
Should have had more snowballs.
I'm going to give it a 4. It's really good, but I'm not digging the aftertaste.
Okay.
She said to Faraz.
Well, even though JL tried to kill me
Nichols.
this week, it didn't work because I'm also giving it a 5.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really good. I like the smoky aftertaste, actually.
Sounds like Chris's palate has matured.
I wouldn't say that necessarily.
Hey, what do you think of that other beer you're drinking?
That's good, too. I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's a German Pilsner from Aldi's.
Okay. No, that one's not bad either. It's very light.
Worse. This is JL.
Don't hurt
pronounce
yourself, kid.
But what's your number on the
Gruner.
Tocobaga?
The toboggan
Tocobaga
beer.
Toboggan. Just more.
I don't get
Tocobaga.
the typical citrus that you get from an IPA, but it's a red IPA, which I don't think I've ever had.
I got no citrus at all, to be honest.
Yeah. I definitely get the malt, the pine in the finish there. I like it. I understand Nicole's criticism of the aftertaste. It is a lingering bitterness, but I don't mind it so much. I might have to go with JL and Chris here and give it a 5. I could drink this pretty easily. The aftertaste is a mild inconvenience.
And that's what it says on the label. So nice. This one beats what you had a red pale ale before. I don't remember what it was, but this one by far beats it.
Yes.
Way better.
Another point for Cigar City.
Yep. I've been
Yeah.
looking at this beer for a while, and I'm glad it's lived up to the expectations that I held it to.
There you go. Now we got some emails, don't we?
Yes, we do. If you want to email us, our email address is podcast42show@gmail.com. Make sure to use the numbers 42, of course. Our first email is from Zombie Shark. Hi, Zombie Shark.
That was actually a very underrated sci-fi movie if you've never seen it.
I haven't even seen Sharknado. I
What?
know.
Did you know Chris Jericho was in Sharknado 2?
I did not know that.
As
Why
a-
was that not a fishbowl fact?
He played the ride operator when they filmed it at
He
the
was the
Universal
world's strongest rock and roller coaster
coaster
ride operator.
who was eaten by a shark as the ride was going on as he was trying to get Ian Ziering out of it.
I actually watched a couple of movies this week. You guys would be impressed, but we'll do the emails first. Zombie Shark said, if you wrote the show Friends, what would you do differently? Probably get rid of Ross.
Wow.
Wow.
Ross hater.
Ross was so negative and so selfish the entire show, and it just got on my nerves.
You couldn't relate to that?
No.
Oh, that wasn't nice.
Were you like Team Rachel then or Team Ross?
No, I wasn't crazy about
She
Rachel.
was Team Chandler.
Because Rachel
I
wasn't
like-
like selfless either.
No, I agree with that. I wasn't a huge fan of any of them. I liked Chandler just because I thought his one-liners and his comedy to kind of mask his feelings was really good kind of character arc. But I know my best friend hated Chandler because she's like, he's always trying to be funny. Like, he's never serious about anything. I'm like, I saw him serious about plenty of stuff in the show. But I understand the reason, like his upbringing and his issues with his mom and his dad, why he had to use comedy as a defense mechanism.
Or the fact that it was a sitcom.
Yes.
That might have helped.
Yes. But I didn't care for Ross.
I would keep the monkey and make them all enemies. That's how I would change the show.
Marcel.
Yes.
Oh, I'd make Phoebe an intelligent character.
Phoebe's great. Phoebe
That
is
way,
funny.
it takes away some of the comedic value and shows how she's really the mastermind of the whole thing.
In a way, she is intelligent, though. She's out of the box.
But it's out of the box, and I would make her more...
Cats really do smell, so she's right about that.
Smelly cat, smelly cat.
Yeah, what's the next email?
From Lumber Mama. Hi, Lumber Mama. So sad about Robin Williams. There will never be another like him. I know Chris said he didn't want to do it, but I would have listened to a 4-part episode on this subject.
It would have been 1 happy part and 3 sad parts because would have had to dive into his addictions.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that.
I mean, we could have gone into more detail about his comedy and the different comedic movies that he did. And
Speaking of Robin Williams, Nicole, what did you watch this weekend?
I watched Good Will Hunting.
Oh, wow. You haven't seen that before?
No, I
Wow.
hadn't seen it before.
It's realistic?
It was great.
I know. Who would have thought? The janitor.
I really liked it. And
Like
at
a
the
Scooby-Doo
end,
episode, but with
at the end,
intelligence.
with the whole "it's not your fault" thing, I started tearing up, and he's like, "Are you crying?" I was like, "This is a breakthrough. This is really emotional right now." It was sad.
Want to know a little insider note on that movie? The scene where Matt Damon and Robin Williams are talking, and Matt Damon's letting loose on his feelings, and Robin Williams farts. That wasn't in the script. That was all ad-libbed from that part, and they both started cracking up.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
She also finally watched The Departed.
Departed's a good movie, too.
That was a good movie. Yep.
And The
Were you on-
Boondock Saints.
Were you on like a Matt Damon kick or something?
No, it was just
But
we
Matt
were
Damon's
coming.
not in The Boondock Saints.
No, but Daryl from The Walking Dead is, and he plays pretty much
Yes.
the same character.
Yeah,
Yes.
like he does in everything he's ever
Yes.
done. Yeah.
But we were going through movies, and he's like, "These are good movies," and I'd heard of them before, and I just never got around to watching them. I was like, "Okay, see, that's a movie. Yes, let's watch that."
You said that's a movie. Let's watch that.
That's a movie.
Wow. Sign you
What?
up for movie reviews. That's a movie. Watch that.
This is a beer. Drink that.
I think Nicole should start a show called That's a Movie. Where she just goes and says, yep, that's a movie. That's a movie. That's not a movie. That's a TV show. That's a movie.
But it's an hour and a half long TV shows.
That's
So
not a
it's
movie,
no,
it's a
but
TV show.
But there are movies that are an hour and a half long, so what's the difference?
Did it come out to theaters, the TV show?
I don't know.
Because the TV show is an ongoing series of
Netflix
stuff.
produces movies now, so they're not technically in the movie theaters.
Yes,
it doesn't make
but-
them less of a movie.
No, there's still movies.
There's still movies.
Speaking of
Steven
other
Spielberg.
movies,
There's still movies.
we also took JL up on his suggestion to watch Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
Yes.
Which song got stuck in your head the longest?
It's an upbeat, inspirational song. I
Yeah, she
downloaded
played
it
that
right
right
after
in her
the
car.
movie.
It's the greatest running song to come
So,
out in a
Nicole,
while.
Great.
when they
With Michael Bolton singing
without
it.
any spoilers, there is a scene where Batman's parents die, and Nicole
Why are we
cracks.
bringing up the Batman scene?
Nicole cracks up, dying of laughter in the movie theater because of an intervention that causes Batman's parents to die after they were saved in the movie. And my daughter Isabella asked Nicole, "Why are you laughing? Batman's parents are being killed."
No,
or
that's
whatever."
not what she said. She didn't understand what was happening. She was like, "Why are you laughing? Like, what happened?" And I was just like, "It's an adult joke. Like, they went back and they
So was
changed
his
time."
swastika one, but you didn't laugh at that.
I know, you don't have that one.
No, but it was like,
Even though I didn't mean it like that.
Anyway, Teen Titans Go to the Movies is pretty decent.
yeah,
It was good.
Especially the scene where Batman dies.
What?
Or his parents die.
it was just
It's
so
a hoot.
funny.
It was a hoot for Nicole. That's for damn sure. She's like, "That's a hoot."
They saved his parents, and he's all happy. And
No,
he's
you're
not-
spoiling the movie.
He's not Batman anymore. And then they go and they give his mom back her pearls and they push them into the alley and you just see 2 flashes of light and Batman's face turned to dread and it was just funny.
She's cracking up now. That didn't sound like a funny scene.
Sounds very tragic. She's and yet she's laughing at your
Really, I found it
2001
funnier when they
and-
saved Aquaman from the plastic rings.
Yeah. There were a lot of
it was
really
a good-
funny
yeah.
parts of that. The Stan Lee cameo.
I had to sit there just to see the credits to make sure that was Stan Lee.
Was it Stan Lee?
You didn't sit through the credits?
No.
How dare you?
Hey, we had kids with us.
Was it a live action Stan Lee or
No,
cartoon?
animated.
Okay.
He's done animated
Because he
cameos
loves
before.
cameos.
Big Hero 6, he had an animated cameo.
Did he?
Yeah.
This isn't even Marvel, but I don't care. I love cameos. It was funny.
So go see Teen Titans Go for when Batman loses his parents.
It's tragically
But if
funny.
you want the full story, watch Batman Begins, followed by The Dark Knight.
We already
You
did
do
a whole
realize
episode on that.
You do realize you have to buy beer now.
Wait, what?
Every time you mention Batman or something
No,
else.
there was going to be like something
Like a
equivalent
swear jar.
to a swear jar.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
it's
see a
going
jar.
towards beer.
Well, I could throw a quarter into this jar.
It's $1.
Yeah,
No,
it'd be
start
$1 at
order.
this
We'll
point.
start collecting it in the fishbowl until we have no room for fishbowl facts. That
It's gonna
means
pay for beer
We
each
have. It means we have made the equivalent of a number of Batman or The Office or some other type of fishbowl facts, and therefore we don't have any for
Bad
that
tattoo
week.
jokes.
Yeah.
It wasn't a joke. That's like a tattoo I've always wanted.
A swastika?
No, the Batman emblem.
Stop talking about that.
It was a pagan symbol before they corrupted it.
Batman's?
No, the swastika.
Oh my
Both are true.
God.
Both are true.
Well, we should wrap up the
Yes,
show.
please. Before we talk any more
I
about
want to wrap
this.
up the show. If you are going on the Rock and Wrestling Rager and you are a fan of the show, find me on the ship.
Yes.
I will be there.
JL will be there.
Wait, what?
I will
Is
be.
it?
It is from October 27th to October 31st.
So you'll be back for Halloween?
I will be back in time for Halloween, but I will be on the Chris Jericho cruise.
Awesome.
Nice.
Take pictures.
Yeah.
What cruise line?
Norwegian,
Oh.
Nice. That's a good one.
Coming out of what port?
Miami.
Norwegian is Jericho.
Yes.
What difference of port does it make?
It matters if people want to join JL.
Okay.
God.
I thought you had a specific reason.
No.
Just find JL in Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be easy. It's small.
Easy.
Like
I will
Atlanta.
be at
It's
a
a
pool
small
bar,
town.
drinking a beer, telling everybody what the beer is and how it goes from a 0 to a 6.
Snowballing the beer.
Ugh.
I'm Christopher DeVos.
I'm Nicole Fasone.
I'm still Y2JL.
Do you guys have a different meaning for the term snowballing?
We'll talk off the air.
I'm Faraz. Hey.
Find us on Spreaker
Oh yeah, we didn't.
and anywhere you
And
find
look for-
podcasts, and look for our Patreon.
Yes.
Where you can get our scripts.
And there's free stuff on there too.
Okay, bye. Oh, and our official Podcast 42 Facebook page. It'll ask you to join, and we'll accept you. We do lots of memes. He said he was Faraz A.
What he didn't say is the final thing.
Fare thee well.
Bye.
You are no longer listening to Podcast 42.
Some of the stuff you just heard might have been embellished, made up, or just plain incorrect. In other words, don't use this show to write a book report with. You will get a bad grade. Just like all the hosts.
But I'm not done yet.
JL's Beer Cooler is written and performed by Cremo. Cremo is an award-winning actor and musician. For all things Cremo, including more great music, visit Cremo.com. That's spelled Craymo. He is on Twitter at Cremo. Facebook, just search Cremo Music, and also on YouTube under, you guessed it, Cremo.